Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advance. And if you're wondering why the board is flipped, is because today I'm going to show you one of my games. I played against 2560 opponent, and he's roughly around 100 points higher than me. So it's going to be a tough game, but definitely it's going to be enjoyable. So without further ado, let's start with this game. He started with d4, and I started with d5. We have e3, queen pawn opening, and we have knight to f6, and just c4. Just going for now again, this is just queen pawn opening. We have g6, and now we're going for the ground full defense. We have bishop g7, knight to f3, and just d captures. And here, just bishop captures castles. And here, for some reason, I don't know why, but I think he was maybe just anticipating that I would go for knight to d5 in this position for some reason. I don't know why he did it, but he had pre-moved bishop to d5, and which just completely blunders the game. But fortunately for him, I had already pre-moved c5 in this position, so he got very lucky in this. So I played c5. He went back with the bishop. We have c captures, e captures, and just going for this knight to c6. And we have bishop to e3, but just knight to g4. Now immediately I see his king is stuck in the center. I want to push those pawn. I want to break open the center, and I want to attack the white king because he has played a lot of moves and he hasn't castled yet. So I'm going to take advantage of it. Here again, h3. I mean, not even worried about castling. I mean, this guy is just insane because a knight captures on e3, f captures, and e5. Just finally breaking open that center. Even now he could have castled. He didn't. He goes for d5, just advancing the pawn forward, knight to a5, and now going for this e6, e4. I mean, we are on move 14 and he has not castled yet. So I was just absolutely sure that I'm gonna attack the really attack this guy. Not trying to use foul language here. Queen to h6, queen to b6 is the best move in this position. I mean, you just stop him from actual castling king side, and if you play queen to e2 try to castle queen side, then here just f5. And here after move like knight to g5, now you go for this bishop to h6, and once the knight moves, you first capture that, and then after a captures, now you capture bishop captures on e6, d captures, and just rook to f8. Now you're not allowing him to castle this queen side because king is, and here just queen is guarding and bishop is just doing this. So it's an amazing position for black to play. I mean, black rarely get such kind of position, and if you get this position in a game, you're just completely winning. But here, instead of all of this, I just went for knight caps on b3. I am completely missed this. This was even an option, but still. Here after queen captures, now I played b6, and the audacity of this person is that he being like some people get too high rated and they think they're just gonna win the game just because they're playing in it. He castled queenside onto an open file on move 16. This is just so this just pissed me off, and I tried to actually just go all out for the attack. Bishop to a6, and bishop to a6 is not that much of a good move because you can actually go for this, but he didn't. King to b1, and here rook to c8, and here just going for this g4. He was just pre-moving moves, and yet somehow in some of the moves he was taking like 5 to 10 seconds, which is very annoying for me because he's just wasting time and he's not even playing well. And here, instead of this he could have played this queen to a4. As I said, that was not that good a move, because but I wanted to get that bishop into the attack. Here bishop to c4, and here after move like b3, now you go for this bishop to a6. Now once he captures, I captures on c3, so it's a trade-off. But here just queen captures on a7, f5. But now here just rook h3 e1, and after queen to d6, he would have played queen to a4, and here after rook to c5, and now you play this knight to g5. And now once those rooks gets attached, now you get the queen into the game, trying to go for this. But obviously you play this, and once the queen moves, you get this position where black is the one attacking, but that attack isn't going to happen that very soon. But then again, white is not doing that much in the attacking sequence either. You could capture, but after captures you have nothing in the position, so most likely it's going to be a draw. So here after rook to c8, but he played g4, but here just bishop to c4 attacking the queen. And once the queen moved, now I went rook to e8, just finally getting that rook in. He played this queen to f2 for some reason. I think he wanted to get the rooks into the game, push those pawns, but that's a bit too slow because here after queen to c7, he played knight to e1, which just again I have no idea why he played this because he didn't get the rook in. If he had gotten the rook in and then played this move, that would have made some sense, but this just doesn't, because now I push the pawn to b5. Here he got the knight. Here I think he wanted to get the knight here for defense. I don't know why, but here just a5, a3, and now going for this b4, immediately going for this b4. It could have backfired because here the best move was just getting this rook here, because after d6, now you play this rook captures, queen captures, and here rook to d1. But here after queen to c6, now you play this knight to d5, and now finally once you get the bishop out of the way, this checks does nothing, if you're wondering, because here just king moves and you have to go back, so there is no point in going for this check. But here you can play a move like queen to d2, and once after you play b4, finally pushing through a captures and bishop here. And once you play rook to c1, queen to a4, just finally going for that checkmate. But now you play this knight to a3, and you can see that my position is completely winning, but I have to play it accurately, and the best way is just rook captures. And here, once queen captures, now you capture this, and once the pawn captures, now you capture with the pawn. Once the knight moves, you play this, and this is just completely over. Yes, you can play that, but it's just not going to work, because even if you try that, first you have to make room for the king. And only now, once I block that, just in a few more moves, you'll realize that you know this is just going to be over, because now I give this check, and only now, once you block, now I can have even, let me just show you, because this position is just crumbling, because here you can see that this is just completely over. So yeah, you get queen into the game, this is just completely over. But here, instead of all of this, I immediately go for this b4, not going for that rook to d8. But this actually could be a blunder, because I have to be very careful. So here a captures was played by him, a captures, knight captures, and position is still better for me. But the issue is that I have to play it very precisely. There was only one move in this position that could have won me the game, this beautiful rook to b8. And the idea behind rook to b8 is that once the knight jumps to c6, you have a very amazing square, which is rook to b6. And you can realize that this rook is not coming here, but this rook can come there, and this rook is almost slicing in. And you're going to be in a completely winning position. Let's say if black tries some sort of a move, like he goes for this knight to a4, trying to attack the rook, but then I have this beautiful rook captures. And once the pawn captures, now a queen captures with the attack. Let's say you don't want to go back, you try to defend and also put pressure on my bishop like this, then I have this beautiful bishop check. If you capture, you lose the queen. So if you go here, now amazing bishop to h6 check. Now this diagonal is covered, this diagonal is covered, this is covered. You have to block with the rook, and once you block with the rook, I do nothing in this position. I put white in a zugzwang. I just move the queen back, and once I move the queen back, there is nothing you can move in this position. Let's say you try to play a silly move like h4 because you want to close this up. I just capture, king captures. Now I play this, and once you play a move like knight to knight to c5, trying to get something in this position, but here just bishop captures. Once the knight captures this, and this is just completely losing. And if you think why not knight to d6 works, because just rook to d1 and it's a pin, you cannot capture here. And if you try this, then just rook captures. I'm a tempo up that comes with the check. Wherever you move, I can just move my bishop back the next move, and I'm in a completely winning position. But here, after knight caps on b4, I played this queen to b7, and this just does not work. But luckily for me, my opponent did not find out why it did not work, because he played this knight to c6. I went for this rook to 8, and you can see that there's a lot of pressure in this position. But the bar is showing that it's still a draw. But most likely these positions, opponents play some kind of blunder, and also he was in a very much time scramble. He was like 5 seconds on the clock, so he had to pre-move every move. Hey, just queen to c5, but now going for this queen to a6. And here, after king to c1, you can see that bar shoot down, because here this is completely blunders the game, because here I play this bishop to b3 attacking the rook, king to d2, and just bishop to e6 check, and just bishop to h6 check. You can see that this is just absolutely monstrous bishops. Here, king to e1, but now here bishop captures, knight captures, queen to a1. The faster way would have been just going here, and once you go here, rook to h2, now just queen captures, king moves, and here just getting that rook. Once you defend, just capture that, and here, after a few more moves, you'll realize that this is just completely losing. So my opponent did not find any of that. I just played simply queen to a1. Even this is winning, king to e2, and here just queen. Here I just asked for a queen trade. I know not something you want to do, but my opponent was very much low on the clock. I knew that even if I exchange down, I'm in a completely winning position. But he did something insane, because he pre-moved knight to b4 in this position, which just completely blunders the game. So I captured it, and here, after knight to d3, queen to d4, rook to e1, and here just rook jumps in, and in a few more moves, you realize that this position just completely falls apart. And here, after rook to c2 check, king to f3, and here just queen captures, checkmate. So in just 42 moves, I was able to get this brilliant game against a 2560 opponent. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be coming soon with such amazing games, so stay tuned for that, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you.